Yeah, 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 yeah. All right, we are live on YouTube. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How's it going? Welcome to the show. Welcome to episode number 741 of Walking with Purpose live from Red Morton Park here in beautiful Redwood City, California. Climate best by government test. I have a brief show to present to you folks here today. It's just been one of those days. Happy Father's Day, by the way, to all the fathers out there. Yeah, just been one of those days. Um, Don and I were spending some time together, and we were having some conversations. And when we have those conversations, time just flies. You know, we were talking about the future and talking about a lot of stuff, and it just it just time flies. And so, there are days where I'll have those conversations. No sound? How the heck is there no sound? Test. AZ Prod, were you hearing sound? There should be sound. Yeah, that's on your end, Cynthia. That's not on my end. I always test sound before I go live. So, AZ Prod, did you hear me from the very beginning? Were you hearing me from the very beginning? No, but you can hear me fine just now, right? So when Cynthia said there was no sound, you were already able to hear me right when she said that, right? Yeah, okay, cool, man. Thank you. All right. So this is going to be a brief show. I'm going to do at least. Yeah, it's amazing what a refresh will do. How you doing, Cynthia? Welcome to the show. Refresh or restart fixes pretty much all the issues. These phones are just like computers. They are. They're basically a computer with a phone application on it now. Anyway. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, folks. I'm like emotionally worn down. There's just been a lot of stuff going on, personally and professionally. Everything is great with Don and I. It's just sometimes we'll get into those deep conversations, and I love women. I love my women, but you ladies like to suck the emotional energy and life out of us guys, and it's like we want to give you everything we got, but we still want to save some energy to go and make money and provide for you. It's like that's the hardest thing. I'm sure most decent men get that out there. When you really love your woman, all you want to do is take care of her. You want to provide for her and do everything for her. Amen, brother. Yeah, and it's like, look, you guys all know, Dawn's a good woman, but she's still a woman, and she has her moments, and she wants me to spend more time with her. I'm trying to give her as much time as I can, but, you try to explain to the woman, well, what if the money runs out? Then what are we gonna what are we gonna do when the money runs out, right? Oh, the money's not gonna run out. Yeah. God, man. And again, I don't want to sound like a chauvinist. I'm not. I love women. I'm glad they have equal rights, but things were much better before women were liberated. Now it's like never say never. Yeah, that's right, bro. It can happen to anyone at any time. Like, women want you to be there for them all the time, yet they don't want you to be a broke-ass loser. But if you go to work to make money, and sometimes you have to work a little OT to pay the bills, You never hear from me. You're working too much. And this is not just Dawn. This is everyone. I'm not trying to be critical to my woman, but it's like I love my woman and I want to be there for her as much as possible. It's just, man, I got to work too. I got to do what I got to do. Sometimes that means working in the middle of the night. If what I do for money entails that, you know? But anyway, yeah, I mean, I've just been a little emotionally exhausted between some YouTube stuff and talking with Don, and we sat down and we talked. It was a great conversation. But then, it's like we realized today's not a good day to do the members only live, and we're gonna more than likely do it tomorrow or Tuesday, but probably more than likely tomorrow. I'll update you folks tomorrow. I'm sorry about that to those that have been waiting for the next members only live stream with Don. We both want to be at our absolute best. When we do that stream. So anyway, all right. So I want to talk about, we all need to place certain people on ignore. And I've talked about this before. I'm going to talk about it again. There are some people within the communities many of us participate, in that are just there, to just create the strangest type of content that doesn't make any sense, and it's not supposed to make any sense, right? And hey, how's it going by your repair guy? Welcome. And look, there's this one woman, I really don't want to talk about her, but I have to. I'm not going to mention her name. Let's just call her T. And I'm not talking about Tiffany. Let's just call her T. Okay? I had a good time with my family today. That's great. Happy Father's Day to you, Raleigh. Happy Father's Day to everyone once again. But here's the thing. I didn't watch too much YouTube today, but I watched enough. I was watching some streams that GLM did. And I've been trying to just stay away from those channels that are a big distraction because, a lot of those channels right now have just become a big distraction. Now, some of them are trying to do what's called ice me out, right? And quite frankly, I really hope you guys do ice me out because that's all I've ever wanted. All I've ever wanted is to be iced out by you guys. But icing out also means stop using my content, stop using my name, my likeness. I did a stream last night here on Coach Eli 2, late last night. There's some people coming. It's just my luck right when I'm coming. A bunch of people coming. So I'm going to wait for them to pass on by. Come on, let's get going. Regarding suing people in federal copyright court. It's not going to really cost that much money. You can also represent yourself. And this woman put out something that I just chose not to put out last night. You know why? Because I knew she needed to file. I was testing this woman, the woman by the name of T, right? The T woman, right? I let something out specifically because I wanted to see Is this woman just looking to respond to every little damn thing because she has no other content? And she did. Because in order to sue someone in federal copyright court, you have to actually register your copyright with the federal copyright department. Now, I knew that, and pretty much everyone knows that. But I didn't say that last night because, number one, I didn't feel it was necessary. Number two, necessary to say it. Number two, I was testing her to see if she was going to try to find something to respond to, and she did. Don't worry, everyone. I wouldn't worry too much because he has to register his copyrighted work. How do you not know I wasn't already in progress of doing that, ma'am? You can go to the copyright site and look because it doesn't show pending copyrights, but that doesn't mean there aren't a bunch of them pending. And you have no idea what's pending and what's coming. You have no idea what I've done to protect myself ever since what happened with my business last year. I learned a lot from that. I thought I had myself protected enough, but I didn't. Now, I know exactly what it takes to protect myself, and that's what I'm doing. And it does take a little time to get things registered for copyright protection. So that way you can sue for those particular registered copyright items in federal copyright court. But there are some things that I've already filed for registration and just waiting for them to be approved, which they will be. It just takes a little bit of time. But I'm going to say this, and I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not attacking this woman. I'm just stating what she's doing. You know, ma'am, you're just another YouTube clown. You call me a clown. You call me every name in the book because you've decided to sell your soul from doing what you initially were going to do, which was run your business that you fought me in court for, and we settled. You went from running that business and focusing on that to becoming a 100% fake instigated drama channel because you decided to sell out to people that I guess you think are your friends. Maybe they are. But are you truly happy? Are you truly happy creating this type of content? Now, again, I have no proof that you're being paid. And I really don't care if you're being paid or not. I hope you're being paid because if you're doing this for free, then I'm like, wow. I mean, this is some weird, primarily made up stuff, right? But here's the other thing when it comes to this person that we just need to ignore. I'm using her as an example because we need to ignore her. And we also need to ignore many other people that she associates with, primarily that group, right? Now, I'm not looking at these people as, you know, a part of that group, even though technically they are. I am looking at these people as individuals, okay? Because that's how they want to be looked at. So, hey, we don't have to group you in with the Legion group. So we can look at you as individuals and we can criticize your behavior out here on YouTube as an individual, right? But I will say this. I sold out once, but it was hollow content that no one rewatches. Raleigh says, I got my trademark approved. I'm pretty excited about that. That's good, Raleigh. Yeah, I'm in progress of getting mine reapproved. By the end of the year, beginning of next year, it will be. The trademark, the USPTO is backed up. So, and I'm also working on some other things through the copyright department to further protect me. Like if these people continue to fuck with my content, once everything's in place, they will be sued in federal court. And it's going to be sooner than you think, because I've already filed for those copyright registration certificates a while ago. So they could be going through any moment, or it might take longer. Like sometimes it depends how backed up they are, right? And that's why I said last night that starting next week, I'm going to choose one person, and I'm going to take you to federal copyright court here in San Jose, California. Unless you guys stop using my content altogether and move on. Now, I will say this. ODN, I want to mention you. I know you're very well versed with how the copyright department works. And I pretty much understand it. I listened to you many years ago. I learned from you how to do what I've already done. But if I do need something more, I'll be sure to consult you. And I want to thank you for being supportive and standing by while I figure out how to best handle this. Because I really don't want to take anyone to copyright court, federal copyright court. But if I have to, I will. If I have to, I will. Let me come back over here because there was a couple coming. I didn't want to get in their way. So, hey, Jason, ODN is pretty good when it comes to the law. Yeah, I know he is. It wasn't bad. It cost $648 for a trademark. Did you have an attorney do it for you, Raleigh? Did you not do it yourself? How you like? Congrats by you. I support ODN. Did you pay an attorney? Because it's $350 to do it on your own for a single trademark. Now, if you have multiple trademarks, maybe that's why it costs you more. So maybe you have multiple trademarks you registered, Raleigh, or maybe you had an attorney do it for you. You don't really need an attorney. It's not that difficult, but I was pretty well versed on how trademarks work before I filed initially back, in I think I got it in 2013 is when or 2012 or 2013 is when I first trademarked the GNA. I paid a large attorney group to push it through for a single trademark with the image. Yeah, well, you probably could have done it all on your own, but you're a busy guy, and it probably benefited you to hire an attorney because you don't have to do any of the legwork on your own. But good for you, man. Congratulations. Yeah, you gotta protect your business and your brand. Because nowadays there are vultures on the internet that just want to make money at anyone's expense, like this group has tried to do for years, right? But I want to get back because this is absolutely it. I didn't even plan on talking about this T woman, but she continues to run her mouth about different things about myself and GLM and some other people, right? And it's very obvious to me that it's all fake instigated. Now, some of it may be partially true, okay? But most of it is amped up or the truth is stretched, and she knows it. Raleigh says, by right paragraph, we are listing on Amazon, and they require trademark in order to have a prime listing and for them to stock the inventory. Oh, good. Okay, well done, Raleigh, says Jason. Absolutely. Shiroma says, that is really impressive. Good on you. Yeah. But, yeah, back to the tea thing. Okay? You know, I'm going to say this to you, ma'am, directly. Everything I've said about you in the past regarding thinking that you're not as bad as you behave online, I'm not taking any of that back. I don't really think this is who you really are or who you want to be. I think this is your online persona because it gets you a lot of attention, and because the people that are supposedly your friends out here on YouTube are creating the same type of content, or they've created it in the past. Or they've created it in the past, and they don't want to do it anymore. So now they're dishing it off to you. And everything that you're now doing to myself and GLM, it's all sloppy seconds and sloppy thirds, ma'am. It's all been sliced and diced many different ways. So they're dishing it off to you because there's no more upside for them. And at the same time, the stove's gotten a bit too hot for them to do it, right? And because they know you're the kind of person that doesn't fear being sued or this and that. And as a matter of fact, you're the kind of person that has threatened to sue people more times than I can count on both hands and feet. All right? They're dishing it off to you because they're like, oh, okay, T could be the perfect person to play this role, right? Right? What I want to ask you, and I'm not going to listen to your response, I don't care. I'm just putting this out there because I think everyone needs to just ignore her and ignore everyone she's associated with. Ignore the stupid stuff. There's no upside for anyone, right? There's nothing left. It's all been played out. And I just don't understand how, as a business professional in the real world, you can do the stuff you do online, whether it's fake instigated for money or you just do it for the fun of it. Now, I know in the past you used to do it for the fun of it, and you made some donations. But what does it cost you, ma'am? What has doing all this stuff cost you? Like, you know, if we're going to backtrack to last year, I'm trying to avoid as many people as possible, and every corner I'm turning now there are people. A bunch of kids just were in that SUV that turned the corner, and they were trying to talk to this couple's dog over here. Oh man, real life trolls, right? And that explains it, Sharma. She's really strange. Is she broke or something? She loves suing people. Shiroma says T and GLM used to be really good friends until T revealed her true colors. I don't think she has been able to get over GLM's rejection. That's a very interesting point there, because a lot of these women on the other side of things that are creating the fake instigated drama, when you want to part ways because you don't want to be a part of the fake instigated drama, it has nothing to do with wanting to screw them over. It's just you don't want to be a part of the fake instigated drama. You don't want to be a part of that toxic, negative environment. So, you know, I think at one point or another we were all friends with people from that group, and more so the women that we were friends with. You know, listen, I got nothing bad to say anything about any of them, but it's just I don't like the type of content they create. So I parted ways because solely on the fact because the content they're creating is not in alignment with what I want to create, and it's been hurting my business and my brand. Besides that, I've got nothing bad to say about anyone. But that's what happens with T, is that, when she's friends with somebody, she expects her friends to have her back, even on things that her friends don't agree with or don't like that she's doing. So with GLM, when GLM saw her true colors of selling out to the fake instigated drama, she parted ways, which further triggered T, and, she used it as content. A lot of people on that other side have that MO, right? But here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. Food for thought, like a lot of people have been saying. What if we all just stopped responding to Miss T and other people from that other side? What if we ice them out? They say they're trying to ice me out. How about we ice them out? How about we ice each other out and move on to bigger and better things? But icing out means everyone on both sides stops, right? Because here's the thing. You can sit there, and I understand that Miss T is technically considering herself to not be a part of the Legion. I think she is, but that's just my opinion. She's saying she's not Legion, right? Fine. We'll give you that, right? We'll look at you as an individual, right? Wow, just everyone's out tonight. A large family is just going very slow right in my path. So now I gotta wait. Oh, give me a second here. If you Google I really don't care about what Miss T's done in the past. I don't care. I'm not here to talk about that. What I care about is the now. Okay, I'm not going to do what they do. I'm not going to go back 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Everybody makes mistakes. Everyone screws up. We don't need to look at someone's past history to justify their actions for right now or to whatever, right? Because all of those things have been talked about by many other people, just like people have talked about my stuff many times. It's been played out. Same thing with Miss T. I don't care about what she's done in the past. What I care about is what she's doing right now. And does it affect me or not? And it does affect me. At least somewhat. Right? But if we all just stop feeding into her and other people from that group, this whole thing ends. Man, this group of people is going really, really slow. I want to try to get one more lap in, but it's starting to get dark. Put a 1 in the chat if you want me to do one more lap. If I get at least 4 1s, we're going to go another lap. Man, everyone just decided to come out tonight. So I'm just going to go on the other side. I'm just going to avoid this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're already there. We're going to go another lap. It's fine. I'll take off the shades and we'll continue. Anyway. So yeah, the past is the past. Whatever, right? And look, I think everyone is hurting for money. I don't know her financial situation. I don't care. It's none of my business. I can speak about mine, and I can say, yeah, I need more money. I mean, I'm not flat broke, but I'm I'm stretching my money as much as possible every month, and it's being stretched. She should focus on something good to fulfill purpose in her life. I agree with you, and I thought she was going to do that, but I think she sold out to silicone. In my opinion, I think she sold out to silicone. A lot of them have, right? You see, what a lot of people, again, don't realize, this whole thing, these people that are not making sense, they're all selling out to silicone, aka Brian. And that's why I think, Jamie's moving on. Like, Jamie's actually changing the Owning Eli channel to something else. He says when he can. I saw that because, he's already changed that name a few times, so he has to wait a little while. But even he's realizing, there's really no more upside going at Eli. All right, let's ice him out. His own group put a poll. He put a poll out there, and his own group, by a landslide, wants him to ice me out. At this point, whether you ice me out or not, I figured out how to handle this. I'm going to keep handling it like I have been. If I need to talk about stuff to defend myself, I will. If this all clears up and you all go away and no one's coming at me and creating drama, then I'll create regular coaching content. I'll go back and forth. What I've learned to do, and Raleigh, this will make you proud. What I've learned to do is give the audience what they want. Right now, even my audience that may be here for some coaching is also here to learn about what's going on with this craziness. And they want to hear it from someone that's been a part of it, is experienced, knows what's going on, and is a good speaker, and is consistent, right? So right now, this is about giving my audience what they want. That's the key to being successful on YouTube, is you gotta feed your audience what they want. As long as you're in alignment with it. And I'm in alignment with talking about this because I've experienced this. And so have many others. And we can all relate to this and learn what's happened here together. And then in the future, it makes us stronger to be able to identify this if it happens again through a different group. And we can learn how to help more people that may deal with something like this on YouTube in the future, right? It's a lesson learned. By your repair guy, it's clear your message is resonating. You're getting good views. Well, thank you, Raleigh. I mean, they've gotten better. Raleigh says I got 8K views on my Father's Day video. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, Raleigh, I'm getting around 400 or 500 views at streams. Sometimes they may reach 700, 800. A few of them hit 1,000. So yeah, no, it's gotten up. And here's the thing. When this all boils over, it's going to all boil over very soon. Sometime this week, it's going to all boil over. You're going to see the views dip because there are going to be people that are just not interested in just coming here for coaching content. They were interested in what people like to call the drama content. For me, I don't call it drama. It's just calling out the haters and detractors. Sharing with people what's really going on. For me, it's about sharing an experience or multiple experiences, right? We don't have to label it drama. I'm not here. See, the reason why I don't call myself or consider myself a drama channel is because I'm not here to create more drama. What I do is I call out the drama people, the drama W's, right? We can't say the full word here. I call out the drama morons and explain why they're doing what they're doing and what's really going on. And that educates the audience, right? To a certain extent, right? I produce videos on 8 channels every week. Oh, awesome, man. But what I'm going to say here, and I'm going to try to get to the point because I've got about maybe another half a lap to do. I'm only doing 2 laps today. That's 2.5 miles. It's 1.25 miles each lap. And then I'm going to go to the supermarket tonight and get some stuff. Don and I are out of pretty much everything. We need to reload. Have not been to the supermarket in over 3 weeks, but I stocked up pretty well the last time, so it got us by. Is Dawn a good cook? She's a great cook. Yeah, she's a great cook. She learned how to cook from her mother. I will admit that. That is true. She learned to cook from her mother. Dawn called her dad and wished her dad a happy Father's Day today, and then she talked to her mother. And was all good until Dawn mentioned Ashley, and then Dawn's mother got triggered for mentioning Ashley, and I'm like, here we go again, right? It's always days like that. I think Dawn is taking a nap right now. I wouldn't even care if she's listening. I'll tell her anyway. But it's days where she talks with her mother. Her father is not the issue. It's her mother. It's days where she talks with her mother that make her very emotional, right? I'll just say very briefly, it's not fair for Dawn to be paying the price when it comes to the relationship with her daughter, Ashley. It's not, I know for a fact it's not Dawn's fault. And I'm not going to get any further into it. But her mother does have the power to fix it. And, there are reasons why I feel she won't. And I'm not going to get into those reasons because it's not my place to do so. But it's very, very fucking frustrating. It really is. It really is. I have talked with Dawn and I've taken back everything. I'm not saying that Ashley's not a spoiled, entitled millennial. And I'm not saying that her man's not a beta. But I take back a lot of what I said about them. I understand why they're handling the situation the way they're handling it. But what they don't realize, what Ashley and her husband don't realize is that, none of this is Dawn's fault. What Ashley's holding against her mother is not Dawn's fault. So, that's why I guess Dawn and I had a conversation today. It was a long, 3-4 hour conversation. And I'd take some breaks in between, go on the computer, and then she would wake up, she would take a nap, wake up, we'd talk again. Like we were talking most of the afternoon. Because I know how Dawn feels about the situation with her mother. And she gets so, hurt over it. I don't blame Dawn. Like she gets so emotionally distressed, which makes me emotionally distressed, right? And that's another reason why we ended up pushing the show back. Because we wanted to come at it from a better place. Like we're good, but emotions ran a little too high today. You've got to take Dawn's phone. Well, I'm not going to do that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you're being genuine or not. I'm not going to take her phone away from her. She's a grown-ass woman. If she wants to call her dad and wish her dad a happy Father's Day, and then her mom is there and her mom wants to talk with her, that's on her. I don't control Dawn. I don't. I do try to protect her, even from herself sometimes, but I can only do so much, right? I mean, I love my woman, but I don't want to take away her freedom. I don't want to take away anyone's freedom. Family can be very complicated. Nobody should judge when they don't know the history. Well, you guys don't know the entire story, like I've said before, and I'm never going to mention the entire piece of story, the entire story piece, I mean. Because I'll tell you this, if you knew the entire story, you would all vindicate Dawn. You would. Just look at Dawn as, like the show The Fall Guy, she's like the fall girl. I mean that for her own good. Just like take a beat, exactly protect her from herself. That mom sounds like a malignant narcissist. No, no, no. Let me tell you this. In all fairness, Dawn's mom is not really a bad person or anything like that at all. She's not a bad person at all. This situation is just something that's affected Dawn's mom in a very, very traumatic way. Let's just put it that way, okay? But it's not Dawn's fault. The whole situation is not Dawn's fault at all. But anyway, enough said. Okay. Is Dawn estranged from all of her family? That sounds like a really challenging dynamic with her mother. Well, Dawn's daughter won't talk with Dawn. And in my opinion, it has a lot to do with, Dawn's mom. And Dawn's mom has not really tried to help repair the relationship between her daughter and her daughter's daughter. And there's a reason for that. And I can't go into that because I'm not going to go there. But that's that. I'm waiting for this car to go by. It's actually a beautiful night here. But it's like around 60 degrees and it's a little windy. I have my jacket on. So this is why the weather's so nice out here. Like, it feels good having my jacket on. I'm not cold, but with my jacket on, even right now, 'cause even though it's summer, it was like mid 60s when I got out here. And now it's like low 60s, like 62. The temperature will even dip. It won't get really super cold, but we have one of the best microclimates on the planet between the Pacific Ocean and the San Francisco Bay. So it was warm earlier today, but it cooled off. It cools off in the evening because of the SF Bay and the Pacific Ocean. The crosswinds, the microclimate. Now, if we lived in the valley, it'd still be like 70 or 80 degrees right now. So it makes a big difference. Even Dawn was telling me today, she goes, wow, now I know what you mean about the weather out here, climate best by government test. It cools off at night in the summer, but it doesn't get like freezing cold. It's pleasant. Yeah, no, it is. It is. That's why and I'm not trying to show off. I just so happen to be lucky to live here. And my parents came here when it was cheap, before it inflated. This is one of the most desirable places to live on the planet. It is. Primarily because of the weather. Also, we don't really have any natural disasters besides earthquakes, and they don't happen that often. We're not dealing with hurricanes and tornadoes and major flooding and all that. Hey, Vin S., how you doing? Welcome to the show. Same in Seattle, Eli. Greetings. Yeah, well, you get a lot of rain in Seattle, Washington. You get a lot of rain up there, even in the summer, right, Vin S.? When the sun drops. Yeah. Yeah, when the sun drops, it cools off. Yeah, you have like some lakes out there too, right? So it helps keeps things cool. Don't you get wildfires? Yes, but not in the area. Not here in the Bay Area. Those wildfires are more in the Central Valley and in the mountains, like where Don's parents live. Like there was a major fire about a year and a half ago, or a little over a year ago, that almost took out Don's parents' home. But the fire shifted at the last minute, and Don's parents were evacuated. And at the last minute, like the fire literally came within like just a little less than a mile from their house, and it shifted because of the wind. And their home and that area where Don's parents live was spared. And I'm glad because, you know, that wasn't Don's childhood home, but she did live there for a little while. Don grew up in San Jose, California, like where Sandra grew up and lived until she now lives, I believe, in New Orleans, right, Sandra? Are we good? Audio and video, are we good? There's a bunch of wind right now, so I'm hoping you guys can hear me okay. This is a nice time to walk too because it's not dark yet, but the sun is down, and the iPhone does a great job of low light compensation with the auto exposure. Yes, good. Thank you, Cynthia. Appreciate it. Thank you. And we've got Redwood City's finest over there, so it's all good. Got 2 Redwood City cops over there. Yeah, they all know me. They see me here all the time. They never bother me. Like when you've lived here all the time, you come to the park, they all see you, you know. They know you're just the dude with the selfie stick and the hat. I remember back in the days, like 4 years ago, when they made those fake pedo flyers about me. I'm sure a lot of the cops saw that and they knew it was BS. I even called the cops to try to report that, and they wouldn't take a report because they called it a YouTube beef. But I'm sure these cops, you know, they knew what was going on. They're like, man, these people on YouTube, this dude just wants to run his show and get some exercise while doing a live stream at the park. And these low-life, trashy scumbag degenerates on YouTube that are probably jealous of him want to try to get him shot by trying to paint the man as a pedo when he's not. That was one of the worst things these people ever did to me, is put out those pedo flyers. Now, they've all apologized since then. We moved on. It's not a big deal anymore. But back then, I had to stay away from the park for a while. Now everything's in the clear, but someone actually took time out of the day to put, well, they did it on Craigslist, Sharoma. They put it on Craigslist. It was some guy named W Computer Shop in Youngstown, Ohio. He ran a repair shop out there, which is no longer around. And he made the flyer. I think he got help from someone else we won't mention. They made the flyer, and then he posted it all over Craigslist back then in the SF Bay Area section of Craigslist. I don't even know if Craigslist is around anymore. That's an awful thing to do. Well, yeah, well, I'm still here. I mean, there aren't enough fingers and toes on my body to count the awful things these people did to me over the last 6+ years. And I'm still here, you know. Hopefully that says something, right? I don't give up. I'm not a quitter. I'm a fighter. I keep going. I need to shave my beard at some point, too. It's getting really bad. This is getting really bad. I hope I can find time to do it tonight. Please smash the thumbs up and please share this out. We've got 64 people in the box. Thank you to everyone for being here. You should keep the gray. Nah, dude, I'm not too fond of it. Sharoma says, Eli, what is a typical day in your life like? Well, having breakfast or lunch with Dawn. I manage all the finances and all the clerical stuff for Dawn and I. So I manage her appointments and mine. I pay the bills. I set up, the next stream that I'm going to do or she's going to do with me. I've got stuff that I work around the house or other, parts of the family estate. Some repair work at times, replacing toilet parts and sink parts. And if something gets clogged, I have what's called a snake. And, my family used to pay $500 each time to get Roto-Rooter to come out and clear a clog, when all you have to do is go spend $40 on Amazon and get a 6-foot snake. You could do it yourself in 5 minutes and save a lot of money and time. So, I do a lot of stuff like that. I'll run errands. If Dawn needs medication to be refilled, I'll go pick it up. Sometimes she'll come with me. Sometimes I'll do it on my own. Just, whatever, typical stuff, typical family stuff. Now, this, if Redwood City Police saw this, these people are parked on the lawn. Instead of having to carry the stuff all the way to the parking lot, they decided to hop the fence, hop the curb with their trucks and park on the lawn to load their stuff easier. That is just, I don't know if you folks saw that back there. They're literally parked on the lawn. I could tell you, if Redwood City Police saw that, they'd probably end up giving them a warning, but they should give them a ticket for that. That's bullshit. You don't drive your trucks on the lawn because you don't want to have to carry shit. Actually, there's another parking lot over on that side that's closer to them. There's one here, and there's one closer over there. But they don't want to have to carry things. They're going to do the lazy way. You should go back there and tell them to move. No. That's not a smart move there, Shiroma. That's a good way to get your get in trouble. Let's try to be nice and use YouTube lingo. I don't want to say get my $$sign beat, but I would get my $$sign beat probably if I said something. They would say, "Who the F are you?" Well, I'm a citizen of Redwood City for most of my life. And I love this park. I grew up here, and I respect the park. And right now, you're being disrespectful to the park. You're driving your truck on the grass because you're too lazy to have people help you carry your shit out to the parking lot. That's ridiculous. It is. That would really spice up your life. Well, I'm not interested in doing stupid shit like that to spice up my life. I like to keep it real, Shiroma. Shiroma, you like some drama, don't you? Seems like to me you like a bit of drama to elevate and lower those emotions, right? The ladies love that fluctuation of emotion. And the drama gives them a good fluctuation, right? Yeah. Man, this is a good walk. I actually feel good. I'm going to say this before I wrap up. Miss T, honestly, you've been doing the same stuff on the internet for years. And, I mean, I just don't understand what you're getting out of it. I'm being respectful when I say this. I've been nothing but respectful to you for the most part. But I really, really think you should just move on and do something more positive like we're doing over here. Now, if you're going to try to call me out as a drama channel, I'm not. All I'm doing is reporting the news. I'm trying to stop the drama. I'm calling it out. Now, see, if you're getting paid, I said if, I didn't say 100%, but if you're getting paid, you're gonna do whatever it takes to satisfy the sponsor, even if it doesn't make sense to do so. So even if you know we're right about what we're saying, you have to take the opposite approach, just like Jamie and other people have in the past, because that's part of their sponsorship requirement, right? But honestly, is this what you want to do for the rest of your life? And another thing, I'm going to keep it real with you. Like, I've done nothing wrong to you, so there's nothing for you to sue me on. Well, I'm just going to say this in a nice way. Like, honestly, do you want to be that litigious? Do you enjoy threatening to sue people as part of your control mechanism out here on YouTube? Because that's exactly what you're doing. Like, it's not cool to threaten to sue people because they're responding to you regarding something you put out on YouTube, and their response hits you harder than your initial video hit them, right? See, that's what I see happening out here, right? It's like you're going to have people, for example, come at me, right? And then I stand up for myself, and I clap back harder than you and call you on the truth. And because there's nowhere else to go with it, then you got to say, oh, I'm going to sue you. For what? For responding to what you initially said? I'm really tired of that. I'll tell you the weird thing with this whole group, why it lasted so long, why the fake instigated drama lasted so long. There's always a lot of control mechanisms involved, and threatening to sue someone is always one that scares most people. It's the same thing that happened to RJ and some other people, right? But this is it. I'm telling everyone here, please. It's time to move on. They want to ice me out. I'm glad you guys are at least supposedly trying to ice me out. Let's see what happens. Let's ice them out. It's time to ice them out. If you agree that Miss T and the rest of them should be iced out right now, meaning they should be starved out of content. Never talk with them again, no matter what they say or do. And they're going to come at us for a while, but we just ignore them. If you think the time is now to starve them out of content, put a 1 in the chat. If not, put a 2 in the chat. And if you think that we should starve them out, but if they really, really start to amp things up again, really bad, then we should go back to calling them out, put a 3. So if you think we should starve them out, but if they really start to amp things up, we should go back to calling them out, put a 3. Because I want to know if you folks want them starved out permanently no matter what, or starve them out unless they do something super, super ridiculous and then they need to be called out. Sharoma says 3. Larry says 1. Permanent starve out by Tigglesby. Larry says 3. Like, a lot of these people, they want us to move on, but if these people continue to poke the bear hard enough, then they deserve to be called out, right? Now, I don't have a problem calling them out in the future. I'd prefer to starve them out. But if it's beneficial to me to call them out, if there's an audience for it and support for it, that's fine. What I've learned, and I'm going to do a stream on this at some point, what I've learned is listen to your audience, right? Now, don't sell out to your audience. I'm not selling out here, but I'm listening to what my audience wants. They want a little bit of calling out the bullshit drama, and they also want some coaching stuff, and sometimes a combination of both, right? All right, Shiroma. I mean, I'm not going to say that, but she'll screenshot that. She'll screenshot that. And I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm not into the ad hominem attacks. That's an ad hominem attack. But here's the thing. Miss T uses ad hominem attacks too. She does. She's like the queen of ad hominem attacks. So I guess you're only getting what you put out. But honestly, I'm not going to feed into that. I'm not going to criticize someone on their aesthetics. I'm going to criticize their actions. She has done and said much worse. I know she has. So I understand why you're doing it. I'm still not going to feed into it myself, but I understand why you're doing it. And then you can just deal with the screenshots on her. But what she'll probably do is Eli let Shiroma trash talk me in the chat. Well, you trash talk GLM, you trash talk everyone, whether you mean it or not. You're like the queen of trashing people. All right, folks, we're leaving 61 in the box. 8 thumbs up. See you all tomorrow at some point. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other.